it's been a blast, guys. I'm gonna leave you now. And, thanks for having me on.
Hell yeah. Hey Don, is there a way to lower your audio input?
I can equalize it.
Maybe.
I can get Callum to equalize it afterwards, right?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I normalize everything so they should be roughly at the same level. So you just need to turn your speakers down. Don can just keep going as normal, and I can sort it out later. It's totally fine.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I am limited to volume up or volume down.
Oh shit.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I can make it so we can all hear Jack. So that's fine. I can turn you down.
I found my microphone.
Is Jack even here?
Is that better?
Oh, dude, a lot better.
There we go.
Yeah, that's good.
Speaking of Jack, where is he?
Jack was dumped in Lake Simcoe.
Again?
Yep.
So just so I can confirm, you guys can see my audio moving up and down on Zencaster, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Bro, it's not. Is it going for you guys like y'all's own or?
Yep, it is.
Yep.
All good.
Fuck, that's weird. Okay, fuck it.
It's like in a movie where you see all the opening credits before the actual movie starts.
I was talking to Scott from Plastic Posse the other day, just chatting about stuff.
Shout out Plastic Posse.
Yeah, shout out to them. And I have officially invited them to the Discord, so I can guarantee that he's gonna spend like a day trying to find a polite way to turn me down. I can't wait.
God. He doesn't need a polite way. Just don't.
Oh yeah, you can just say, "Nah, fuck off."
You're gonna go to message him again in like a week, and you're not gonna be able to find him because he blocked you.
Yeah, I'll be blocked. And then the next episode, the first thing they're gonna say is, "Micro Machines, fuck off."
Us.
It's like, stop messaging us. The restraining order's in the mail.
You know what? That'd be amazing publicity. Getting a restraining order from Plastic Posse.
Oh God.
I feel like I'm personally going to get a restraining order from Ammo.
Probably.
They're already drafting it. It's all going to be in Spanish, and then they're going to make you an English translation of it. And it's all going to be broken English.
Did you even get an acknowledgement from them?
Nope.
Still?
Still. I'm checking again right now.
You're like, silly American. Buy our products.
Okay, loading into
So what's your email?
Pans_modeler, blah blah blah, Zertelvera, blah blah.
Also,
blah.
what's your credit card number?
I'll send it to you. Don't worry. I'll also send you a social security number, mother's maiden name. You got it.
I would say, what's your old man's credit card number?
Don't worry. I'll put it all in a Word document and send it over to you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Don't forget your mother's maiden name, the street you were born on, your first pet's first name, all of that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. It can't be used for anything nefarious.
Oh, not at all.
Hey, Greg, now that we've got money, I was thinking about that new Tacom M114 with the interior. What do you think, eh?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Just straight yes. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, crap. Do we want to start the podcast? We're like 4 minutes in.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Might as well introduce it.
You are listening to the Micro Machines podcast. Greg, this is your episode. Go.
All right. Look at me. I got the reins of the bad boy. All right.
Sure.
Welcome to episode 8. This is a crew. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I think Don should be first. It's his first time on the podcast.
Yes, we have a guest.
Yeah,
we have a guest. Our first guest.
I don't think hostages typically get, opening line privileges.
Well, there's a first for everything.
This is a special prison operation.
Jesus Christ. All right, I'm Don. I'm from Canada. I build models. I'm here against my will. Please send help.
Don't worry, that Stockholm Syndrome will just start kicking in pretty soon. You'll be fine.
On a similar note, I'm Dennis. I'm also from Canada. I'm currently holding Don hostage right now, and it's great to be here.
I'm Callum. I'm from New Zealand, and that's all I'm going to say.
I'm Ezra, sweating like a fucking dog in my workbench in New Mexico.
Take it for the podcast, bud.
And I'm Gregg in SoCal, unfortunately, recording in my garage. All right, so that's all our introductions. Unfortunately, Jack and Val could not be here today. Val is now known as the ghost of the Micro Machines podcast, and Jack is at the bottom of. Right, so I guess we'll start off with our social medias. For YouTube, we got the Micro Machines podcast. I kind of forgot the Spotify, but then you got my YouTube, and then Callum's YouTube, and down there in the Instagram links, you got everyone's. Besides Don. Don, you have an Instagram, don't you?
No.
Say it,
No.
say it.
Unfortunate. We'll have to make you one.
I've been looking. Trust me.
My dog has an Instagram.
Hey, that counts.
Didn't you have a Reddit for a while?
Yes, he did. That's
Yes,
why
and then I
got him
nuked it.
into this.
Oh, God.
I got him onto a kit maker through that.
I remember before you were on Kitmaker, I was just scrolling through Google trying to find pictures of an M113 TUA, and I found your build. I was like, oh, I hope mine could look as good as that.
And then it looked better. So much better.
I wouldn't say that.
No, you should.
Questionable.
Yeah, questionable.
First of all, the Verlinden kit I used for that was new before the conflict that the TUA was actually used in.
That's true. I was measuring the dimensions between the Verlinden and the Legend kit, and they're so off.
Oh no, they're out by a
Ridiculous.
mile.
Yeah.
But the Verlinden kit was $20 with shipping, so
That's
You
not
know.
bad.
economy.
That really is not bad.
So, Greg, what's the presentation you're presenting to us today?
If Mr. Dennis could switch over to the next slide for me. We are discussing the age-old question, is one size fits all, or does size really matter?
Ooh, risque.
We're going to talk
Oh,
about
wow.
man battle tanks versus armor classes. Basically, armor classes like tank destroyers, light, medium, heavies versus what we know today as a man battle tank.
I just want to say that Abrams could take. I was going to say the Abrams could take out every tank on that previous slide. Easy.
Oh, 100% could.
But not the Tiger.
Oh
5
my
Abrams
God.
to 1 Tiger.
God, no. Lord have mercy. Alright, well, we'll start with the what's called the Jack of all trades. It's the main battle tank, and according to Wikipedia, it's where I got all these definitions from, so if you want to credit that, go ahead. The main battle tank, also called a battle tank, is a tank that is used as the most powerful combat vehicle in modern armies. They were made to replace the light, medium, and heavy tanks used in World War II with just one tank. So down there you got the Abrams, Leopard, and a T-90.
Well, we know that 2 of those tanks worked at least.
Oh, shots fired. Yeah, Chechen War is in favor of the T-90, and obviously the war in Ukraine is definitely not favoring the T-90.
We just got our first confirmed kill of the T-90M. Suck it.
Fucking Russia's over there punching the air. Alright, if you'll go to the next slide for me. Alright, so we'll start off with in the classifications of World War II, we got light. So a light tank is a tank variant initially designed for rapid movements in and out of combat to outmaneuver heavier tanks. It is smaller in size with thinner armor and less powerful main gun, tailored for better tactical mobility and ease of transport and logistics. They are primarily employed in the screening, reconnaissance, skirmishing, artillery observation, and supplementing landing operations in a fire support role of expeditionary forces where larger, heavier tanks are unavailable or have difficulties operating safely or efficiently. Down there you got the 7TP, the old Chaffee, and the 38T.
What gun does the Chaffee have? I keep forgetting what it is.
76 mil, I think.
76
Wasn't the
short?
same one in the M4, like the M375?
I think
I think it
so.
was.
Yeah.
Chaffee is such a cute tank, though.
It really is.
It's pretty heavily armed for a light tank of that era.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 7TP though, that one's just looking weird. It's an interesting suspension system it's got.
That's a weird suspension system, man.
The Polish actually really enjoyed that suspension system. It worked well for them for the little bit of time they used it.
For the 5 seconds.
Oh, and we just got cancelled by the entire country of Poland.
After what I did when I was traveling Poland, yeah, I'm not going back.
Oh heavens!
We're triggering Article 5 on New Zealand.
Oh god!
So, I was going to ask a question. I've totally forgotten it. Someone else asked something while I remember it.
That's fine.
Here's a question for y'all: did they ever put a late war paint scheme on a 38T?
Did they ever do it, or are you saying we should do it?
Was it ever something that happened?
I don't think so. No.
Dang.
Yeah, I doubt it.
They stopped using them in 41, I think. They really stopped using them in 40.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Dang.
Yeah, it saw a lot of action in the Ukraine, but besides that, I can't think of anywhere else it really saw a lot of combat.
Wait, so are you saying we might see a 38T trying to take on a T-72?
And
It'd probably win. I bet it'd probably win. Yeah, God.
So, Greg, what was the last official light tank? Like, I know,
Shit, dude.
because I know light tanks are kind of coming back in a sense.
They're
Like, I
like,
know
wow.
the Chinese have got a new tank that is classified as a light tank, and I think even you Americans were looking into one.
We were for a while, yeah.
That one had a weird name to it. It was like the high
Dude, the whole thing
survivability or
was
something
weird.
like that.
Yeah, the whole thing was weird looking.
Does the
Looked
Sheridan count as a light tank? Because I would say it would be the Sheridan.
I think the Sheridan counts, yeah.
Yeah, the Sheridan is a light tank because it's an air mobile support tank. So yeah, it's a light tank. Yeah.
So there you go. Other than whatever the Chinese are fielding now.
That's the ZTZ flipping 19 or something. It's some weird designation.
I'm going to search
It's
that one
from
up.
Wish.
But I say I'm not too sure what the Chinese have got up their sleeve right now, but yeah, like Don said, the Chaffin is definitely, I would say, probably the last official light tank since it was air mobile. Have y'all seen that thing actually fire in combat?
It skips like 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah, it does.
Isn't that the Sheridan?
That was the same problem the Scorpion had.
Oh,
Really?
I've seen one of those fire. Jesus Christ. How do you hold on that thing? Like, you see it, and the whole front goes up about 4 foot, and everyone who's sitting on the tank, like, I'd rather be the loader in that one, because then the loader literally just steps off the tank when they fire, and then everyone else just gets thrown around.
Well, he steps off the tank and then dies.
Yeah. Well, everyone else would, because that thing has literally no armor. Like, I was watching a Chieftain video on the what was it? Yeah, the Scorpion, and it's got like a gun mantlet sort of gun shield, and he was saying it's literally a few millimeters thick. Like, it would stop bugs if you're driving at high speed. Otherwise, nothing. It will stop nothing. Like
Maybe a rock.
Maybe a rock that gets flicked up. Even then, it'll probably crack the glass. But otherwise,
Jesus.
small arms will go through it. Like, it's definitely an ambush and then get the fuck out of there sort of tank.
I would love to build one in 1/35th scale, though.
What, a Scorpion?
Yeah.
I think they make one.
I think there
Revell
is.
made a 1/40th scale one. But I think that's...
It's
But
Revell,
only
though. Would you ever
Revell.
buy it?
No.
Asner would, because he's some sort of Revell fanboy now.
No, I like new Revell German armor, because I believe that's a German company. It can make German stuff fairly well.
Hobby
Can it, though? Can it?
Because that's the worst take I have ever heard.
I would say that's
So are you just saying the entire company of Revell are just a whole bunch of wearaboos?
Yes.
Yes, they're German. What do you expect?
Yeah, makes sense.
Ezra, that's like me saying that the best AWOL Aero model kit was produced by Hobbycraft Canada because they were Canadian, when in reality it's the best Aero kit because it's the only Aero kit that was ever made.
Yeah, that's the only one. That's what you've got.
But that's
I guess
irrelevant.
that's fair.
Ezra's being a silly goose today.
No, Hobby Fan made a 1/35th scale Scorpion in resin.
Do you feel like spending 200 euros on it, though?
No, I'd rather build the shit.
Alrighty then. I mean, if it comes down to it, right, then yeah, go ahead and get the Revell kit. But if there's a better option out there, especially better bang for your buck, I'd go for that.
Yeah, might as well just 3D print it.
Alright, Callum, do you remember the question you had earlier, or no?
No, that's completely gone.
Alright, we'll move on then. So, just so everyone's aware, once we get through all these little definitions I put up here of all the tanks, we'll go into the discussion portion, just so y'all know we're not just flying through these.
There is a quiz. I've seen it.
Alright, so the medium tank. Medium tank is a classification of tanks particularly relevant to World War II, which presented a comprise between the mobility-oriented light tanks and the armor and armament-oriented heavy tanks. A medium tank's classification is not actually based on weight, but off of tactical usage and intended purpose. The most widely produced, cost-efficient, and successful tanks of World War II, the German Panzer, the Soviet T-34, and the American Sherman, were all medium tank designs. Many of the medium tank lines became what are called main battle tanks in most countries.
Do you know what the first official medium tank was? Ever?
I do not. Let me go find that out for you.
I believe it was the Whippet. The British Whippet was, I think, is officially the first medium tank.
Interesting.
Let's see. The M2 medium tank.
That's the first American medium tank.
I'm about to say, yeah.
That thing is weird.
It's horrendous.
What, the M2?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one with like the 8 M1919s, right?
Yeah.
I
Yo,
hate
dog, I heard you like M1919A4s, so I put M1919A4s on your M1919A4s.
Bro, that's... Imagine carrying the ammo for that thing. Like, how many fucking boxes do you need?
Many.
Many, yes.
And
Especially
yes,
if you're...
I'm giving Callum the win on medium tank.
I think he's right.
Yeah, I think the Whippet is known as the first medium tank.
Because the actual definition, or the War Department name is medium tank Mark A.
Yes! I actually got
look at
something
that
right.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Callum, don't worry. You're going to say a lot of wrong things before the end of this podcast.
Oh,
Oh.
foreshadowing. Yeah, that's all for medium tanks. Alright, on to everyone's favorites. Thick boys, heavy tanks.
If Jack was here, he'd have something to say about that, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a light boy.
Alright, let's see.
Sorry about that car that just drove by.
Should be.
You should be. You should be.
Yeah, go grab him, bring him back, and make him apologize for the interruption.
Yeah, go throttle him.
You're gonna what?
I think it's better you don't know.
Are you in
He
your
said
closet or
something
have you come out
unholy.
yet?
I haven't been in my closet for at least 3 or 4 episodes.
Well, we're proud of you, man. Good on you,
Thank
man.
you.
Honestly, look
Thank
at you. Keeping you clean. Alright. A heavy tank is a term used to define a class of tanks produced from World War I through the end of the Cold War. These tanks generally sacrifice mobility and maneuverability for a better armor protection and equal or greater firepower than tanks of lighter classes. Typically, you would see these tanks preferred to counter enemy army units versus something like the Stuart, which was served best as an infantry support vehicle rather than a tank fighter. Down below, you got the beautiful Pershing, the overrated Tiger, and the surprisingly not well-known KV-2 or KV-1.
I was going to say that's
Ignore that.
KV-1.
Greg, is it just me, or do you have a thing for the Pershing?
I have a thing for the Pershing. It's been a recent development, but yes, I do have a thing for the Pershing.
It's not a phase, guys. The Pershing was the best heavy tank in the world.
Just look at it. It's so cute.
So, Greg, here's a question for you.
Yep.
Why was America so sort of late with their heavy tank designs? Why do you think they were, weren't prevalent? The Americans like the mediums and lights. Why do you think they didn't have a heavy until very late?
I'll be honest with you. I think they tried to make the EZ-8 our heavy tank. They really tried to keep it in the same Sherman design. That way, it'd be easier to produce. Because, in all honesty, if you produce as much in armor aspects as you can, you're more than likely going to win a battle. That was kind of the idea from back then. What was it the Germans said? They said something about like one Panther could take on 5 Shermans, but if there were 6. Okay. Hey, I took that from the last episode, so
yeah. I think one of the other reasons was, for America to join in the war, they've got either the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean to cross.
Right.
So you'll notice, like, if you look at, say, a Soviet and a German tank versus an American tank, there's on the other two, the Soviet and the German, you don't see any sort of like attachment points, like lifting hooks or eyes or anything like that. Right. Whereas all the Americans, you can even see on the Pershing, it's got lifting eyes on it. And I think I was watching a documentary. One of the reasons they didn't have a lot of heavy tank design was the fact that they've got to move them overseas, and heavy tanks they were just a bit too cumbersome and for moving. Whereas a Sherman for transport, it's actually fairly light. I think that was one of the things I found. Was that trying to move like a lot of heavy tanks versus a lot of medium and light tanks, they could fit more Shermans and Stuarts and stuff onto transports and then just ship them over en masse. The sort of logistics things that having masses of heavy tanks just didn't really help with.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and I think personally that's why they try to make the EZ-8 our one and only heavy tank, and obviously that didn't work.
It was the same philosophy that hamstrung the Brits, right? They wanted to have everything fit on British railway gauges. So if it wouldn't fit on a flat car, they didn't want to build it.
That is true.
Yeah, because that's one thing. If you're an island nation and you want to invade, you've got to ship everything over, which means you got there's just a lot of logistics that just doesn't work sometimes. Well,
everything's spread on paper.
The British also had a different philosophy. Their heavy tanks were, infantry tanks, and their light tanks were cruisers. They had light and medium tanks were their cruiser class, and then the heavy tanks were infantry tank class. So they had an entirely weird system in general.
Well, if you think about it, any tank could become a heavy tank the more troops you add onto it.
Active protection system right there. There you are.
So that's why the Soviets put so many soldiers on a T-34, to absorb a shell.
Absolutely.
Are infantry considered soft kill or hard kill?
It depends on how they're hit.
Yeah.
I think they're considered squishy kill.
Ooh. Oh, they crunchies. Yeah, they call the infantry crunchies. Oh yeah. Now, I'll ask you guys this: what's y'all's favorite heavy tank?
KV-1. Like straight up KV-1. The KV-1 is, by historical standards, underrated as hell, considering how much the impact they had at the early starts stages of the war, like Operation Barbarossa and stuff like that. Because a lot of the German tanks, the early Panzer IVs and 3s and 2s, just couldn't go through the front of one. There was a report of one KV-1 that stopped an entire column of German armor, and this thing took something like 139 hits without getting penetrated at all, and it took out most of this column before it finally one shell finally got through a weak point.
I was about to say, didn't they, the Germans have to maneuver a fucking 88 on its ass, and it took like 2 or 3 rounds to actually take out the tank?
Yeah, like the KV-1 could actually just stand up to a lot of punishment. I would have hated to be inside getting hit 139 times, but...
Oh, dude, honestly.
Yeah. But
imagine being that gunner, having to focus in that periscope, and you're just getting pinged every like 5 seconds.
Yeah, but what about that Tiger that got shot like 200 times?
Okay, but what tanks were shooting at it?
I think it was mostly AT guns, so there could have been some T-34-76s.
Well, as we all know, like, yeah, Tiger is aesthetic for those wearaboos, and they have some cool camo schemes, but that hoe's a little overrated in my book.
What about everyone else?
I'm going to say something awful here.
Uh-oh.
I vote Tiger only because I like the paint scheme and I like making Zimmer and weathering it, okay? I'm not a wearaboo. I hate the
Wearaboo!
but I like dirty Dunkelgelb. And you know what? No American can disagree with me because y'all's tanks are Karkatan, and that is basically the same thing as Dunkelgelb.
Look, we don't appreciate the Karktan, alright? I promise you, we all hate that shit.
I appreciate it.
Okay, Ezra's the exception, but you're basically Canadian, so that makes sense.
Not. I don't want to claim that guy. Ron, what do you think? Is he one of us?
I don't know. Does he have a passport?
Not anymore.
Oh, well, then there you go.
Yeah, they are.
Well,
God
tough
damn
luck.
My passport picture literally looks like I've been mugged and I have a black eye.
That's what everyone's passport picture looks like.
I swear to God, it's the most horrible thing you've ever seen.
I look like a terrorist.
You look like one, or you are one?
No. For legal reasons, I am not.
I had that issue when I got my British passport, because I got the photos taken midsummer where I'm at my most tan because working outside.
Uh-oh.
And then the photos kind of naturally darken for passports. So I got it sent, and it got sent to my work, and I got it, and everyone's having a look at it because, you know, a new passport, and everyone's going, "You kind of look a little bit Syrian in here." I grabbed it and just went, "Oh boy, random chicks ahoy much?"
Yeah. Better go to the airport early.
Yeah, it's like, funnily enough, I've been randomly searched 5 times in a row.
I wonder why that is.
They randomly searched me quite aggressively.
I don't think the beard helps as well.
Oh, heavens no.
No, clean shaven for all international travel.
Holy snap mustache.
Oh, God.
That was a weird sidetrack to go on.
It was.
Does anyone else have a favorite heavy?
Podcast.
I'm gonna go real obscure on this one. The ARL 44.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that thing is thick.
Just because it is the most French-looking thing that you could ever see.
It's so ugly.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
It's like a B1 and a tiger got into it.
Yeah, I see that. What the hell?
A king tiger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When
me,
was this about?
It wasn't. It saw about eight days of actual service.
Okay, I was about to say.
They only built 60 of them. They were complete lemons.
Is there a kit of this?
Yes.
AWOL
Hobby
one.
makes one, and it's very nice. Or so I've heard.
Very well.
That's the fancy 3D printed one, right?
No, it's a proper plastic kit.
yeah, the 3D printed one is the
thinking of the one from
AMX-50.
Resin
Oh,
Steel,
right.
John.
Yes. Which is also
Which is
a cool
like
looking tank.
$10 billion.
That is true.
Oh yeah, here we go. Amusing.
I think
look, Dennis, there's even a Girls and Panzer version.
Oh God, no.
Oh, gimme.
Don't give Ezra any ideas for new slides that are unexpected.
I think we just heard Ezra wet himself or something.
Fuck, you made me figure out my favorite heavy tank is. God damn it.
It comes mit bocage.
Okay,
Oh, that's right. The M103.
The M103, huh?
Oh, that's a good
Yes.
one. I've seen one of those in real
Shouldn't
life.
you know about that one?
What's up?
Shouldn't you know about the M103?
You know what? No, because it's a wannabe patent, but a
It's a
wannabe.
cooler patent.
No, that. Okay, yeah, actually, it's. God, I don't know too much about the tank. I just know I saw it one day and I was like, wow, that looks like a wannabe patent, and yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. It's a wannabe patent.
I mean, it does pretty much just have a bigger, it looks like a fat M60 turret.
It's kind of comparable to if the Patton was like a regular M4 Sherman, and then the 103 was supposed to be what the EZ8 was wanting to be.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, or it could be the Patton is the Sherman, and then the 103 is like the M6 Heavy.
Mm.
It's sort of similar, like Sherman-ish, but not quite.
Right. Okay.
I've actually seen an M103 at Bovington during Tank Fest. It's a pretty cool tank to see in real life, though. It's pretty.
Was it operable or was it standstill?
It drove around. I think it drove. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure theirs is a runner.
yeah.
Would you
it's
say-
definitely a runner.
Would you say it was bigger than you thought?
God, you sound like my
I
girlfriend.
feel how you answer.
You sound like my girlfriend. Actually, yeah, I've got footage of this thing running when I was at Tank Fest. I should really
I'm
send.
sure you do.
I'll send it to the Discord. Yeah.
I sent to the podcast planning a comparison between M60 and a M103, and it is comparably bigger.
Wow.
Let me go check that real quick.
It has an added road wheel, I think. Yeah, it does.
Holy
You versus
shit!
the guy she told you not to worry about.
Yeah, honestly, oh my god, look at that thing. The turret is almost as big as the fucking Patton itself.
Greg's getting pretty excited here.
Yeah,
Look at that.
should have told him about it.
Holy shit. Bro, you could have a 4-bedroom house in that turret, dude.
It looks like they just put an air nozzle into the Patton and then just turned a compressor on and just blew it up. It just inflated it. It's like, yep, M103 now.
Dude, that's
Oh,
insane.
what's that really cringy thing you see a lot? It's the inflates you big around or whatever. And Dennis probably knows what I'm talking
What kind
about.
of websites
No,
are
I
you
do
on?
not. I have no idea what you're talking about, and they want no part of that.
Yeah, you're on some weird websites to get ads
I
like
was
that,
gonna
bro.
say
Not ads, people telling them to me.
Ezra,
Are you
does
sure
your-
about that?
Ezra, does your comparison mention the fact that it has the same power pack as the M60?
No, I literally just saw the picture and sent it. No research.
At a top speed of 2.
Hey, don't discredit it, okay? You could fit 7 people in that turret comfortably.
Which is good because you're not going anywhere.
Damn
Yeah,
straight.
exactly.
You're basically, that would probably work as an artillery build right there. Just weld the turret in place.
Oh,
Just dig it into the ground like the Germans say with Panthers.
Here we go again with the German stuff.
Oh, fuck.
Kidding. They made good armor.
All right, so what's next?
hold on, Greg.
Send it.
Guess the top speed of the M103.
The top speed, flat road, fucking full gear, everything. Probably 12 miles an hour.
23.
You're kidding!
Guess the top speed of a Tiger 1.
Oh yeah, it's like 24, I think.
28.
Jesus. You know what? Fuck your tiger. They can. You know what? Yeah, when it's sitting on the side of the road with problems, I'll be chugging along by ya, waving
Why
with
didn't
my
you
seven
transmission
friends.
quick again?
I just wait for the transmission to go. I mean, it's actually more impressive the M103 can get up to that speed, considering, just having a quick look, the frontal armor is about 127 millimeters at 60 degrees.
Oh, God.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah,
And
it's
a
a
120.
65-ton tank.
Yeah, you got a 120 millimeter on there, so I guess you could forgive that.
That's a big bitch. Oh my god.
It's because they basically put a four-cylinder Civic engine into, a Mack
Quick,
truck.
what kind of car is a M103?
Well, I heard the term Civic, so I'm going to guess it's a 1994 Honda Civic hatch with a VTEC and Doge.
No, you're going the wrong way here.
No.
This is a big gutless, underpowered land yacht.
Yes, as I said, a big gut that's underpowered.
It's got a
Not
crew.
real. Dom, what would you think this is?
I don't know. I don't do cars.
I'd say it's some kind of wannabe dually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hefty boy.
Greg, what was that truck that you saw that picture of?
Which one?
Remember the one that you were showing me? There was that picture of the truck.
Oh, fuck, what was it? I'll be honest, like an early 2000s, late 90s fucking super jacked, ridiculously loud, like 4 miles to the gallon, waste of money.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Silverado.
Oh yeah, Silverado, there we go. Fucking.
They are. So the M103 is a 1999 Chevy Silverado.
Lifted,
With
though.
chrome
Lifted.
wheels. Yeah, lifted with chrome wheels.
Oh god. Tinted windows and all.
I gotta,
Yes, I have a purpose for this truck.
I gotta say, the M103, just reading about it, had two loaders because it had a two-part ammunition. But with two loaders, it still could put out about 5 rounds a minute. The two-piece ammo.
It's not bad.
Plus, electro-hydraulic turret Travis could do 18 degrees per second. Jesus.
Wow.
That's not
For
bad.
that
See, and
hefty
you
of
were
a-
shit talking it a minute ago.
Yeah, guys. Fucking assholes. Alright. The last classification we have is the tank destroyer. So, a tank destroyer, highly mobile, lightly armored type tank vehicle that was used to fight tanks in World War II. Tank destroyers tended to have relatively thin side and rear armor, and the gun was mounted in an open turret or a casemate that had only a limited traverse. And I've got a riddle for you guys, so riddle me this, Batman. I am what I'm not, and I'm not what I am. What am I?
What?
What?
Think about it. Just think about it.
I am what I'm not, and I'm not what I am.
Yes.
Okay, I was promised a hint.
Yeah.
Well, if you take a gander at their eyes, you take a gander at the angle where it's looking down at. We had a conversation the other day. Not really a conversation. Oh. Oh heavens! All right, it's a tank because people get tank destroyers mixed up with them being actual tanks.
Unless you watch like mainstream media, in which case a Humvee is a tank, or
Yes.
Yes.
Something like
You would
that.
be surprised with how many people actually in the military actually think certain vehicles are tanks. Not just your social media or your local media being silly geese, but folks, you should know classifications of vehicles, at least what they are, do not.
Well, thankfully for everyone, I'm bringing tank destroyers back in a big way.
Oh,
Do tell.
Nah, I'm just gonna refuse to elaborate.
okay. Hey, remember earlier when we said you were not a terrorist? It's all coming in. It's all coming in circle.
It's my master plan to bring back tank destroyers.
Foreshadowing, boys. All right.
I want to say something, but I think it might be even a little too bad to say on this already offensive podcast.
And you wonder why Ammo doesn't want to give you a sponsorship.
I was going to say he's going to fly an airplane into every tank he can find.
No, you can't say that.
God damn it.
Just bleep it out. Just bleep it out.
Great, and now none of us can go flying
FBI,
anymore.
RCMP, CSIS, and Interpol. I've never felt more secure in my life.
Oh, I can't believe I said that.
God damn it,
I feel horrible. I feel horrible.
Travel mandates in New Zealand are just dropping next week. I'll just be able to go and fly, and now I won't be able to. Thanks. God. Oops.
If I'm brought up as being a terrorist.
I am not a terrorist.
You're a femboy cat-eared terrorist.
Thank you. No.
Got him.
There you go.
Damn it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Before we move on, can anyone tell me which Stug that is on the bottom right?
Oh, yes. That is a Stug 3.
Okay, let me elaborate. What country?
Finish.
There you go.
Ezra,
Yeah.
why are you, a scale modeler, so knowledgeable about German AFVs?
Not German
Because you
AFVs.
building them?
Stugs.
See, I just
Stug 3s.
I just like last week when we were talking about the wearaboos, and Ezra was just flat out denying, I'm not a wearaboo. And then when asked what's in his stash, he goes, I've got about 5 Panzer 4s, 7 Panzer 3s, I've got a couple Tigers.
I'm over here trying to make him feel better. Like, you're not a wearaboo unless you think the Third Reich should have won or whatever. And then he's like, well, I've got all these tanks and the Stug 3.
But you see,
Ezra, I can't help you.
Unlike most weirdos, I don't believe there should be a Fourth Reich.
Thank God.
Oh, thank God.
You would die on that hill. We need to bring someone on who thinks that just so we can all crucify him and have an actual controversial topic. Besides the one tonight. Thank God, finally the first actual controversial topic.
I can't
We'll
wait
get
for
to that later.
I've been doing a lot of research for that one. So what are the other two that we have on the screen? Greg?
Shit. So I think this is the M18?
No,
On the left there?
that's an M10.
That's
M10. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not too knowledgeable about tank destroyers.
What's the one in the middle?
Some Russian thick boy. I don't know the name of it.
It's an Su-85.
Thank you. Su-85. Okay.
Yeah. And all of these are based off medium tanks. You got the
Absolutely.
M10, which has got the chassis of a Sherman. You got the Su-85, which is taken off a T-34, and then you got the Stug 3, which is off a Panzer 3. I think the Stug 3 was like the most widely produced out of all of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty sure.
Also the coolest looking.
Shut up.
Look, I would take a Stug 3 over an Archer any day.
What did you
I
just
will
say?
take an Archer over a Stug 3 any day.
You had better take an Archer over a Stug 3, my god.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry,
so
I'm
what if you
not
have cover from the rain in the Stug? Like, you can just throw a tarp over the Archer. You'll be fine.
Yeah, but you also have like mounds of concrete protecting you on some of them. You've
Also,
got
you
Fury
don't
style
have a 17
logs.
pounder, and you have no situational awareness.
And also, if you get hit, an Archer, you just jump straight up and you're out,
That's true.
And also, you've got, like in an Archer, you've got a giant engine block in the way. You know.
Yeah, but you got a driver in your way on the Stug.
Ah, so the squishy protection. Gotcha.
Taking after the Russians, I see.
Okay, so who here has any knowledge of like why a turreted, like the difference between a turreted and a casemate? Like, what's the doctrine idea behind them? Anyone got any thoughts?
Profile.
Case used for ambushes and long range engagements. Turreted is basically the gun. It's basically just you take the the tank destroyer, drive it to a position, slap it down there. The turret does the rest of the work as if it were you're towing a towed gun, but now it's self-propelled.
Casement guns also allow you to have ridiculous calibers without having to cram it into a turret. You don't run into the problems you had with the Firefly, where you have to now cut, giant holes in the back of your turret to accommodate breach length and start turning things sideways. And right, you can just
it could
pick
be
the biggest thing you can find and build a box around it.
yeah. Well, you could be Russian and say we have a 152. Well, the KV didn't work. ISU 52, the 152 though.
Yeah, look at that thing.
Because I know the Americans didn't really like casemate. They went for the turreted. You got the M10 here. You've got the M10, the M18, the M36. They definitely had a different doctrine to tank destroyers than
I'm about
everyone
to
else.
say the Germans. I mean, I guess you could counter this with the Russians, but the Germans, it kind of makes sense for them to have the casemate. Kind of like Dennis pointed out, like it's more of a sit and engage, more of a defending than a defending vehicle, rather than like the open top turret, which would be more of like a maneuverable, on the go engaging.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, it makes sense that the Allies had the open tops versus the casemates, just because of their doctrine was different.
Yeah, like the M18 was one of the most effective because it had like no armor at all, but it would literally just fire. It would just fire and then get the hell out of there as quickly as possible. I think another reason the Germans made so many like Stug 3s is they were just a lot cheaper. They're a lot cheaper and a lot easier to make over a turreted tank.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking, I can't think of any American tank destroyer with a casemate.
There are none.
Yeah,
But
unless you count the T95, but
Oh, true.
Uh,
Oh, and the T110E3.
oh yeah.
Oh, the Yag Abrams.
Okay. Okay.
The M20 Lafayette.
okay, how about vehicles that saw service?
Yeah,
no,
let's go with that.
Yeah, I think the Americans only had the M10 to the M36 and the M18.
Correct.
The M36 is actually fairly interesting because what an M36? Anyone know what an M36 Jackson is?
Yeah, it's basically an M10 with a 90mm gun, sort of.
Yeah, basically.
And some overhead cover.
That's the B2. The M36 standard had no roof. Then you've got the M36 B2, which they put a roof on because people were getting sniped all the time, and shrapnel and all of that. Then there's a rare variant, the M36 B1, which I've got a model of.
They added that to Sherman chassis, right?
Yeah. So there was a basically it was just a trial to see if how well it would fit. Then basically because it was the M4A3 chassis they put it on, and the idea was that the M4's got a bit more armor than the M10 chassis, so it was basically trying to make an up armored version of an M36, but it seems like it was quite a rare variant. They mainly stuck with the M10 hulled M36s.
Makes sense.
Then there was also plans for the Hellcat, the M18 Hellcat, to turn it into what they call a Super Hellcat, and that was basically getting the chassis of an M18 and putting the turret of an M36 onto it with a 90mm, and it turns it into a Super Hellcat. But that never went anywhere. It was deemed that the 76mm that the M18 had was fairly sufficient at that time.
Popping tops.
But yeah.
Who wants to guess when the last operationally used Jackson was? What conflict?
Yugoslavia.
Yugoslavia.
Yeah. How wacky is that?
1996? 4?
Yeah, I mean, thereabouts. I don't know when the actual last shot was, but it was during the breakup.
I think I've seen one. Didn't they put like rubber mats on the armor or something?
From conveyor belts.
Yeah,
that
weird.
Would be interesting to make.
It's still funny how many like Second World War tanks are still in use.
What country uses Stewarts?
Brazil does.
Chile.
I think Peru still uses them as well.
That's baffling.
Like you saw in the Middle East, you still saw the occasional like Panzer IV, T-34-85, Su-85s and stuff like that. You still saw them floating around.
Yeah, they were kicking until at least through the 60s.
But even fairly modern conflicts.
Yeah, they had an 85 in Syria that they had made into basically an artillery gun. They had a pull cord run through the turret just in case the inside combusted from all the
rust.
Yeah. The thing is kind of funny to see. They got to sit behind a berm, and this dude runs on the inside. Then he jumps out, grabs a cord, runs away, and then he pulls it, and all of it, it's like an artillery gun. Then
well, and I mean, not to mention the couple of gate guardians that they managed to crank over in the Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. Also, I know there was a Southeast Asian country. I think I don't think it was Thailand.
Yeah, Laos.
They still had the T-34-85 in operational use, but Russia had this thing where they were buying them. They
sent them out for the Victory Day parade.
Yeah. They traded Laos the 34-85s for I think T-62s, 64s, or T-55s, just because they wanted the 85s back for like a sort of heritage restoration and something like that. But so Laos was still using the T-34-85. I'm just having a quick look now.
I think Vietnam has the rest of their 85s have been sent onto certain islands around the coast and are basically stationary artillery, if I remember correctly. I think it's Vietnam.
I think this might be our best episode just because of how many times we've gotten off topic.
Who needs a script?
I'm just having a quick look because I know there's still a whole bunch of World War II stuff being used. Just give us a sec. You guys keep talking. Come on, I found something once just because I was at work and I was just interested and bored.
Oh, so we're on our phones at work now.
I'm always on my phone.
See, Don, isn't this way less painful than you thought it would be?
No, it's substantially more.
It's going to get way worse.
The lack of script is tearing me up inside.
That's what makes it so good, though.
It's all natural.
Enjoy the pain.
I'm trying to figure out if there are any Cascavels still in service, which is just a gussied up Greyhound.
Oh, I think they are, yeah.
Yeah, Africa has some Greyhounds.
can't find a... Oh, yeah, current operators. Here we go. Oh, God, there's a shit ton of them.
Good Vix.
Oh.
All right, so while you guys search that up, we're going to continue on to controversial tank classifications.
Oh.
Yes. So basically, tanks such as the Panther, Sherman EZ-8, T-34-85 have been argued to be either medium or heavy tanks. And what really makes a medium or heavy tank? We're going to go ahead and generalize the two classifications. Medium, they're fairly maneuverable, may or may not get a speeding ticket, decent caliber / gun, good armor, hefty but not too hefty. And you got your heavy tanks. They are less maneuverable, definitely will not get a speeding ticket, thick armor, typically has a higher caliber velocity gun, pretty hefty. And I was kind of thinking about it, and the best way to place this argument, or these tanks, is tanks that sort of fit in both categories and make sweaty dudes argue is a good way to put them.
Gotcha.
Well, actually,
so in your guys' eyes, where does the Panther fall under? We'll start with that. Where does the Panther fall under?
Medium.
yeah, that's a heavy tank.
Sorry, Dennis, you gave the wrong answer. Try that again.
Don, I'm sorry, you're the one being held hostage. Let me get something straight. You were not alone in your modeling room. Nah, it's a heavy tank because it's got really heavy armor. It's got a really heavy gun, and it just doesn't have mobility because it broke down half the time.
Fair argument.
I know, but I don't know. I feel like you'd have to group it into the same category as a Tiger.
I think at the beginning of the war, when it first came out, it could have been classified as a heavy, but once the war, strung out, it definitely fell into that medium section.
Exactly.
I will say this: it does have better armor protection than the Tiger 1, and the Tiger 1 is a heavy. So I mean, make of that what you will.
That's a good point. What about the Sherman EZ-8?
Medium.
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 That one's definitely a medium.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with that 100%. I was talking to someone. It was a guy at the hobby store down in San Diego when I got that Rice's Red Devils EZ-8 for that Korean War dio. And I was talking to the dude, and he's like, "Yeah, such a heavy tank and all this stuff." And I didn't really say much, but I was kind of thinking, I don't see how the EZ-8 could have been classified as a heavy.
Hobby store employees, they say the darndest things.
Oh yeah. We know, Dennis. We know. But I was thinking, like, okay, maybe if you put the M4A1 Sherman next to like a Korean War EZ-8, okay, yeah, it's a heavier version, but I don't think it would ever classify as a heavy tank.
Well, mind you, that's the same vein as, say, the Jumbo Sherman. Like that, I think officially the Jumbo Sherman is classified as a heavy assault tank.
That's what they wanted it to be, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like,
Stone.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I'll still put the EZ-8 as a medium, but this is a Sherman can be made into a heavy. It's just not that one.
Yeah, no doubt.
Any tank can be made into a heavy, depending on how much ERA wink you put onto it.
Depends if your mom's driving it or not.
Love that. God, it's been years since I've heard a good "your mom" joke. That was fucking solid.
Oh,
Hey,
also,
we need to give him a fucking special pin in the Discord for that one.
Yeah.
King of your
Oh,
mom
yeah.
jokes, dude. Jesus.
Also found out, country still operating the M3 Stuart is Paraguay.
Oh,
They still have 10 in service.
Huh.
That's mental.
Hey guys, let's drive a tank that sucked in World War II, and let's use it today. Fucking
Well, I mean, like, who's going to ever invade Paraguay?
honestly, I've never heard of that
Wow.
country. So the Micro Machines podcast. That's it. We're gonna borrow a King Tiger and go slay some. What did you say the country was called?
Paraguay.
Yeah, however the fuck you pronounce your people, Paraguayans.
Now, what we'll do is we'll just go over to, who is it, Brazil, and grab their Stuarts. You know, what are they? The X1A that's got the bloody 90mm on it.
Mm.
Oh, so you guys know how in the first episode, Callum bought a kit while we were recording?
Yeah.
What about it?
I just bought a M56 Scorpion.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah,
Ooh, for how much?
$20,
That's all right.
What scale?
140.
That is a 1 to 40. That's a weird scale.
It is.
yeah, that's Jesus.
What is the date stamp on that kit, Ezra?
You don't want to know.
1950, sir.
Yep, 1958.
Oh, that was the year my dad was born, dude. Holy shit. Oh my god.
It's gonna be interesting for sure.
That thing's old as fuck.
Actually, that's a good quick question for everyone. What's the oldest model kit you've built?
God.
The Avro Arrow.
'Cause
This
I
is
think
Lance's 105.
when was that?
If I'm not mistaken, I think 63? Hang on. Let me double check.
I'm looking mine up right now.
Like, recently or ever?
Like ever? Like, what's the oldest kit?
Oh, God.
I think mine at the moment is my Arado AR196. That's the Airfix one. It's got a brand new boxing, but the molds are from 1966.
Oh,
Oh yeah, they were fun. That was fun.
mine might be my B36 Peacemaker, or a while back I did a monogram 148 scale F4 Phantom, which was probably about 72. I might be wrong though.
1974.
Huh.
For a 172 Isuzu IJN fuel truck.
Oh, Lord.
It was the first model I ever built.
Fair enough.
How did it come out?
Terribly, because I was like 8.
I suppose that's fair.
I didn't even paint it. It was just Tester's orange tube glue and fingerprints.
Oh, God.
Well, that's a step up from Dennis's crayons or whatever the fuck he used.
Oh yeah, when I was building a 1 to 48 scale Airfix Harrier, and I used straight up Sharpie markers to color in the camouflage because I was
Last week?
yes, actually, as a matter of fact.
Oh, God.
I actually have that fuel truck sitting in my stash right now.
Really?
Like a new one.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, you'll have to send us a picture of it, but never mind.
No, I haven't built it yet, yes.
Alright. Dennis,
Moving
you mind
on.
switching over? There we go. Alright. So, I wanted to do a slide to kind of show where vehicles were and kind of what their predecessors are.
Gregg, none of those are tanks.
Okay,
That was
well,
something
I don't
wanted to
care.
think about, because like when he wanted me to help me make this slide, I was like, he has not once mentioned a tank.
Sorry, guys. I'm new to this, okay? You have to bear with me. just something to look at, right? So, Dennis, thank you for helping me with this.
You are not welcome.
Okay. I'll just not use the Striker Dragoon you pulled up then. How about that?
Nah, just kidding. You're very welcome.
Alright, so we got the M8 Greyhound, right? Beautiful little Speedy Gonzales over there. Which, if I'm not mistaken, was actually credited with killing a king tiger in the Ardennes.
I think there's a little bit of controversy over that one, though.
There's a lot of bit of controversy.
There's probably a Panzer IV.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, like, during the Second World War, there was probably more tigers reported than actually built.
Oh, 100%.
A lot of times they'll just be like, oh yeah, we killed a tiger, and it's like, no, that was a Panzer III.
Yeah.
I was about to say, if you take Joe Schmo and then you show him the front of a Tiger tank, and then show him the front of a Panzer, and then, he doesn't look at it for like 2 months, and then he goes into combat and sees the front of a Panzer, he's immediately going to think, oh fuck, a tiger. It's the worst, thing to ever walk the earth.
Especially if you're looking at the front of it in a war zone, you're not really going to be sitting there going, is that a Panzer IV? Is that a Panzer?
Exactly.
Is that a Tiger
Yeah.
1?
You
Oh,
might
fuck, it's
not,
firing
but
at us.
You might not, but the members of the Micro Machines podcast will.
Like, goddamn, is that a T-72B or what is that?
We've all got the binoculars out, like peering out of the hatches. Like even the drivers got the binos out. Like, what is that?
So
No,
hang
we
on, I'll
don't
just
need to
run
be-
and go ask him.
Yeah.
We don't need to be looking out the hatches because we're going to be at an Iltis.
Oh, God.
Lord have mercy. What have we done? Alright, well, the Dennis and I came up with the predecessor for the Greyhound being the Striker Dragoon. A wannabe LAV, but definitely fits the narrative doctrinally. Let's see. For the LVTA-1, we came up with the AAV-7.
I would have thought the predecessor of the AAV-7 would be a submarine.
It should be. How many of them fucking sink?
You have a horrible sense of humor.
Let's see. For the Russians, we got the little M3A1 armored car, and we went ahead and threw the BTR in there with the extra armor.
And it's good to see nothing changes.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, how times don't really change.
That's a lot of squishy killing now.
Oh, dude, facts. You could probably take like two armor piercing rounds right there before you actually take that thing out with that much flesh you got. But
Imagine me and the poor sod who has to clean it out.
fuck that shit, dude. Oh my god. Well, for the Willys Jeep, it's the Humvee and Jail TV.
I'm not sure I'd want to be in a Willys Jeep. Looking at that photo, that is quite high up.
I would love to be in a Willys Jeep on the testing grounds, just catching some mad air.
Fuck yes.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to walk afterwards, but yeah.
That's fine. I'll just sit in my Willys Jeep.
Your
I'm in
injuries
a
are
Willys
not
Jeep.
service related.
Have you guys seen the video of the Willys Jeeps going through those bumps, and they're vibrating really hard?
Yes.
That shit's it looks so fun. Well, alright, so now that we got through all the classifications, right, let's kind of bring it into, what do you guys think? Do y'all think it was a good idea to move from the armor classifications to one main battle tank, or do you think it would be a good idea to go back?
Go back. I
Bring
want
it
a
all the way
Yagged
back.
Abrams. And the Yagged Leopard and fucking...
Chieftain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chieftain.
Yag Chieftain and... What else? An ISU 90.
Jesus.
I can go back.
What about the rest of you guys? What do y'all think?
I think there is a role for your, light tank reconnaissance type vehicle. I think the heavy is completely and utterly obsolete, and I think that the Abrams could shave a couple of pounds But no, I think it was proven time and again that this multi-classification, multi-platform system just led to a whole bunch of half-assed compromises. Right?
Well done.
Really good take, yeah.
About what you were saying on like the lightly armored stuff, what's your take on like the scimitar and scorpion? Because you could say those are, modern-ish light tanks.
Yeah, no, I think there is a role to play for an armored reconnaissance vehicle, but
well, you've got
they're not designed for
Bradleys for that.
Well, but that's it. So now there's your argument: is a Bradley a light tank?
No.
Absolutely not.
No, it's an extremely heavy tank, if anything. let me just remind
But does it fill the role of a light
is
tank?
larger than an Abrams. It's taller than an Abrams. It's fatter than an Abrams. It's denser than an Abrams.
So it's like a less sophisticated Merkava.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is true.
That was a really good take, Don. What about you, Dennis?
See, to my mind, stuff like the Leopard 2A6M can that they had in Afghanistan with like all the additional belly armor and all that, to me, I think that should be classified as a heavy tank because it's designed to absorb as much damage as possible, as it proved it could time and time again, and it could really dish it out. So I think in many ways we should go back to the original classification system, but maybe we should ditch medium. We should go to more like, the cruiser and the infantry type.
Okay, so basically straight from like IFVs to your MBTs and then your heavies.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's a really good look on it.
Well, actually, we might have contradicted ourselves earlier, because would you classify the Scorpion and Scimitar as light tanks? Because we said the M551 was the last light tank.
Well, and even the Americans didn't want to call it a tank.
Yeah.
True.
For a whole host of other reasons, but no, because the Scorpion was still, I guess with the 76, there's an argument to be made.
Yeah, because exactly.
Although really they both saw sort of concurrent service, right? The Scorpion didn't see a ton of service past Desert Storm.
Yeah.
So probably a toss-up between the two of them over which one was taken out of service last.
I guess so. Well, that'd be interesting if we bring John on from Kitmaker and have him talk about scimitars and scorpions.
What about what about that German thing? The weasel.
Ah, yes.
Weasel.
That thing is fucking awesome.
That right there is a tank destroyer, my friend.
Yes.
Yes.
Imagine that should be. Is that in War Thunder yet or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, are you serious?
There's a whole bunch of them in War Thunder. There's the tow version. There's that 20 mil version, I think.
Oh my god. Just go trolling with that thing.
A lot of people at the moment are just like sticking on every single bush they can on it, and then just sitting in bushes now. So it's a full meme now.
That I don't blame him, honestly. That's how small that thing is. Yeah. Jesus. What about you, Ezra?
No comment.
No comment.
Oh shit.
What? No, you don't get to say no comment.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever you guys said.
Banned.
Oh, God.
Fucking
go to horny jail.
He's too busy looking up his weird websites to talk with us.
Actually, you're saying that I was reading build logs on the M56, and I went to a website called DACA.
As I said, there's weird websites.
Oh, God.
It's a legitimate modeling forum, apparently. Really weird, though. They even have a podcast.
Alright, well, I'll give my take, and then we can move on to the hill to die on. So I'm kind of angling towards Dennis. I think it should be. I don't think we should have necessarily light tanks or medium tanks, but definitely a solid amount of different IFVs, and then go straight to your MBTs. And then if you want, because some situations are necessary, make that MBT into a heavy. Belly armor, extra, ERA, whatever the fuck you want to do with it. And call it good at that. Because the whole light tank or reconnaissance vehicle, light tank, medium, heavy, and tank destroyer, like Callum said earlier, or Don said earlier, was just made for a whole slew of problems. And people compensating and half-assing their work. Per se, I mean, granted they were in war, so they were trying to get shit out as fast as they could, but it's just too much going on at once. So I think an easy three slot classification would do just fine.
Yeah, I think I agree with what Gregg says. He summed up well.
Shut up, Ezra.
Yeah, he's in the spirit now.
Who put that the Instagram thing on the other day?
Not me.
The what?
On the story.
Oh yeah, dude! Congratulations, Gregg. You won.
Did I really?
Yeah.
We love you, Gregg.
I love y'all too. Who put that on? Was that you, Ezra?
Yeah.
I was just trying to divide us with popularity contests.
So
it was in my eyes.
It was you, Gregg, and then Dennis. Fair point. Is very much deserved, and then me, and then Callum, and then Jack.
What was that
Which
for
isn't
again?
fair. I don't know. I was bored.
Yeah, you know what? You're not allowed to have the podcast account anymore. You're gonna start asking weird questions like which one of the hosts has the nicest feet or something like that.
Oh, dude, his Ezra's little Discord note status has been looking up tank.
Yeah, because that was from last week. Remember? I said I was going to start looking them up and insert the pictures.
Oh my god, Ezra, what is your status?
It's been that since we recorded episode 7.
You weird as hell.
Nah, I gotta change it to something new this week.
Oh god. I think Dennis has the funniest statuses out of all of us, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Aw, thank you.
Dude, your shit's just hilarious. Like, come on to Discord and there's always something new and it's always something witty.
I'm like baby Canmedic.
Yes. You're the Canmedic for statuses.
Yeah.
You hear that, Canmedic?
I hear nothing.
Oh, very well. Very well. All right, shall we move on to the Hill to Die On? Get this conversation going.
Okay. Well, on this podcast, we have a segment that we do each week called The Hill to Die On. And in The Hill to Die On, one of us comes on with an absolutely horrible take and gets crucified for it. And this week, we've got Callum.
Yeah, and this one I'm actually genuinely scared on this one. I'm going to have to bloody work on this one.
He needs to fear for his life on this one.
Who is the picture of that oriental-looking man?
What?
Who is that?
Jesus, tap dancing.
How do you not know who that is?
Prick.
I know who it is. I just had to stir it up, okay?
That's right. I can make a stop in New Mexico on my way to New Zealand.
So
this podcast, we pray to Mr. Tamiya, and you better respect that.
I mean, my hot take isn't like disrespecting Tamiya at all. I mean, Tamiya is still one of my favorite brands. I'm just saying they should be open to criticism by you guys. So
Wait, speaking of Tamiya being bad, have you guys seen the Harry Houdini models video where he says Tamiya is the worst modeling brand?
I did see that, and I wanted to write a very strongly worded complaint to him, but I decided not to.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
I mean, he is Australian,
Dennis.
so they're a bit weird.
Dennis is writing to him right now.
Oh, I'm not just writing.
So anyway, so my hill to die on with Tamiya is, we all know Tamiya's one of the best out there.
Yeah, great. Wrap it up. That was wonderful.
Yeah, that was I held die on. Let's go.
So their products are very good. You know, they've got the whole. They're known for, you know, chucking a knife and glue into the box, shaking it up. You got their model. That's all good, and that's fine. However, I do think Tamiya should expand their, like, they need to get a bit more daring, a bit more inventive with their subjects. I have found that they do get a little bit same. So I've been looking it up. Like, I've done my research. I've gone through the entire catalog, and it's just, they don't have anything like, say, TACOM. TACOM have started doing some real interesting subjects. You know, you got the battleship turrets. They've started doing zeppelins. You know, TACOM have gone into really interesting things. Tamiya is still playing it safe. They're still doing subjects that are, you know, everyone knows. And I think they're just at a point now where they should start branching out into more interesting subjects. I mean, I've been having a look at their releases for the last 3 years. So for their military, you know, the armor and stuff like that in 35th and 48, say this year they came out with the KV2, which is cool. They've updated it, but they already had one. They've got another Tiger tank and another Challenger 2. So these are 3 tanks that they've already released with the Challenger 2 and the Tiger tank. They already have 3 Tigers before that.
What's so different about their newest one versus their? Is it anything significant, or is it like basically a remodel?
It's basically just new moldings, and then they've released them as like an early variant and a later version. You know, so they've got two separate kits. For one, that's an early version of a Tiger 1E and a late version of a Tiger 1E, say. And there's not actually a lot of difference between them. Like, you know, that could be done as something as an upgrade kit, not as a full separate re-release model. Even for their aircraft this year, they came out with the 1-48 P-38J Lightning. But when you actually look at it, what they've got, they're just releasing the P-38. They did the. Does anyone else know what other P-38 they did? I think it was the G.
Yeah, I think it was the G2.
Yeah, they released the P-38G, and then to create it to the J, they've only added like 2 new sprues into the kit to make it the J. But even then, when you look between a G and a J Lightning, there's not a lot of difference. So I think now Tamiya should be looking into some of the more obscure things, some of the more, like, they've got to be a bit more daring. I think they're being a bit too conservative.
Do you think maybe they're doing that so they're letting smaller companies like TACOM and whatnot branch out and seeing how they do? Or do you think they're just straight up just trying to play safe in general?
I think they are just trying to play safe. I think they are.
Okay.
Like, you look at, you know, even the last 2 years, they haven't brought out a lot. They've brought out another. They've brought out another Kittencraft. Kittencraft? How do you pronounce that one?
Kettenkrad.
Thank you.
Kittencrad.
So they brought out another one. This one's the mid-production. They've brought out another Panzer IV, an early Alf's G.
Hey, Ezra, there you go.
Another T-34-85. I've kind of gone through their list and tallied up how many things they've got. They have 6 variants of the M4.
Jesus.
6 variants of the Panther. 5 variants of a Stuart. 4 variants of a KV-1. 7 variants of a Panzer IV. 3 King Tigers. 4 Abrams. Like, they could get a bit more inventive. They could, like, there's a lot more out there that they could do and do really well. Like before, I was going to mention, but Canmedic mentioned the ARL 44. I think if Tamiya did that kit, that would be really cool. You know, a lot of the earlier war or even the later war, sort of just after the Second World War stuff.
But
I would love.
think of it this way: we are arguably approaching if not in the middle of a golden age of new kit releases. And you're right, Meng and TACOM and all of these manufacturers are putting out all these weird and wild and obscure vehicles. Do you drink beer?
Yes.
No.
Too much.
Do you enjoy a variety of different styles of beer?
Yes.
But do you have a go-to?
Not really.
See, but even a style.
He predicted
And this is my argument. Because I also enjoy a variety of beers, but sometimes you just want a lager. And Tamiya is a lager. It's uncomplicated, it's easy, it's simple, it quenches your thirst to build something, and it's fun and enjoyable, and then you can go back to the complicated stuff later on. Right? They have filled a niche market of, you're right, shake and bake. And like to look over at my shelving unit here, I have 4 of their M151s. I have 5 M113s because sometimes you just want an easy kit to screw around with, and they give you a cheap and cheerful option without having to worry about photo etch and indie link tracks and really feeling bad if you screw up a kit.
What do you think about, Don, this is more focused towards you, what do you think about if Tamiya kept their simplicity and moved towards topics that aren't basically reboxes of like the Panther or the like, for example, if Tamiya came out with like a T90, like a Chechen War T90, or maybe, I don't know, do they have any F-35s or anything like that?
They have a 172 scale, which is Reebok's Vitaleri.
I mean, sure, but are they going to be able to do that with the same, value for money aspect that they have now?
I think they could
Right.
if they spent some time, maybe like a year or two.
Well,
Actually,
I know that Tamiya's coming out with a very weird subject, probably in the 2023 period.
I would rather they retool some of their older kits, to be honest. Right,
Okay.
They have a lot of stuff languishing from the 90s and earlier that could really do with some improved tooling.
that is
What
true.
I would like to see is that maybe they, as you say, as Don says, taking the tooling and redoing it, but also, adding more stuff like photo etch and aluminum barrels.
No.
Hear me
No.
out, though. Hear me out.
That
I'm
is
not talking
not
about
what
a lot.
Tamiya is for.
I'm not talking about a lot, but you know how on the Kittengrad they had like one piece of it, right? So I'm talking about that, right, where you have just enough so that you don't have to resort to aftermarket, right?
Maybe as an option. What about that? Like,
Or as an option, yeah.
or if you want to make it more complicated, a little more detailed, then you can utilize that photo etch, or you can just go like old school, back to the sprue.
Right. I mean, Doug, what do you think about their Stug 3B kit? Like, it came with a little metal barrel and I think 3 pieces of photo etch, and it was probably one of the funnest.
Why would
kits
I
I've
want
ever
to?
built.
Why would I want to build a Stug, Ezra? I don't understand.
I was going to say that's
Just
just
make it
wrong
count.
with your
Just make
analogy.
it captured; it'll be fine.
Hey, to be fair, you could do a finished Stug.
The
Yes.
other thing is, I truly wonder what market share Tamiya, or not market share, their sort of revenue stream comes from their military line versus their RC stuff and their cars and all that. I don't think they have the motivation to move forward with any of that stuff. They're making too much money otherwise.
I can
That's
say,
true.
as someone who's actually been able to look at some of the numbers for at least, in certain places where they make their money. I don't know if you guys look at like the new product release, press releases they do each month, like I do, where I follow them religiously. But the overwhelming majority of the new stuff to me is doing. I mean, obviously, like each year they try to pump out like 4 or 5 military kits. the majority of it is either car kits or it's RC stuff.
RC
right?
stuff.
Yeah.
RC is their that's their bread and butter.
And let's be clear. Tamiya is first and foremost actually an RC company. We don't really see it because we don't have a lot of their stuff in North America. But believe it or not, in Japan and Europe, that's the main thing that they do. And that's not to say that they don't have their model making is not somehow an integral part of that. But they are truly one of the few major how would I put it, general corporations in the hobby, because they do it all. They make paint, they make glue, they make tools, they do RC, they do scale models. At the end of the day, I'd say car models for them, at least right now with the current generation, they're probably more important to Tamiya than military models.
That makes sense.
Well, I mean,
So, if you see what they're doing with the cars, they're pushing the boundaries quite a bit. They're doing some really neat stuff with those.
Well, speaking about model company kits actually branching out, back in 2015, I know Dragon did 1/6 scale SAS Jeeps and 1/6 scale pack.
They've always been doing weird stuff.
That's true.
And as long as Ezra keeps buying their Stugs, they're going to keep making them.
Exactly.
Dude,
It's just
facts.
got so many different Dragon kits.
And that's
He's
the
gonna
real
have-
problem with the industry in general, right? As long as people are lapping up, whatever that ludicrous Panther AA variant that you posted up earlier is.
Disgusting.
As long as fanboys are lapping that stuff up like it's going out of style, that's what the manufacturers are going to produce.
Yeah, because I
true,
think
yeah.
for modeling, I've got a slightly different take on it versus say yours, Canmedic, because you've said you've got how many model kits of what was it, the M1?
The M151, the not Jeep.
They're not. Yeah, I've got a slightly different philosophy. I focus more. I think from where I'm coming from, I focus more on the subject rather than the model itself. So I've got a slightly different outlook on it. I don't for me. I don't think I'd ever buy the same kit 3 times and build them, because that's just for me. That's not how I build. I'll do one thing, and then maybe say in another couple of years, because I've still got all my models that I made when I was 5 and to 13, and they're all shite. I'll definitely admit that they are. I've got them all hanging up in a box in my bedroom, and I see them every day, and I'm like, yeah, that was so bad. So maybe I'll revisit them and see how well, use them as a sort of a litmus test of how far I've come with it. But otherwise, for me, I'm not I'll buy two or 3 kits of the exact same thing and build them, because for me, there's too many subjects to other things to build. So that's my philosophy. So that's where
Right.
I'm
Whereas
coming from.
I focus on a pretty narrow subset of the history of military vehicles and whatnot, right? Because I build primarily Canadian.
Yeah, I was going to say
Canadian subjects.
Don
So
and
you've
I are
limited
weird
your-
because we have this pseudo-nationalistic modeling ethos.
Well, it's like everything else. I will hoard things. So if I don't limit my collections pretty exclusively, I will end up with just all manner of nonsense. So
I feel that.
I mean, you're probably limiting yourself quite a bit just doing Canadian, but
I'm
Yeah,
not,
but-
because that's why I have 6 different 115s or 113s, because then I can model them from their inception all the way through until the the T-Lav that's come out today. So
actually
T-Lav is
they'll
gonna
make
be
a pretty
tough.
good. They'll make a pretty good display if you made one of every single generation going up from the oldest one to the new one and put that as a single display. That would look
Right.
pretty good.
You probably wouldn't like to hear this, but I kind of did that with Stug 3s on my shelf. I have Stugs early A through late.
Hey, did you guys know Ezra likes Stugs?
No,
Yeah, and nobody
He's really
cares either.
single-handedly driving all mini art and desk work and all these companies making studs.
But this is exactly why I like Tamiya, because they're the kits that I use to take breaks between stupid, complicated projects. Where I don't get frustrated. I've never been frustrated with a Tamiya kit. It's just build it and enjoy it for the sake of the project. and then I can go and play with some multi-100-piece photo etch laden monstrosity.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I still love Tamiya. I still love their kits. I just think they could be a bit more adventurous. That's all. Like, I'm sitting here right next to their the Type 1 self-propelled gun that I'm going to make for the group build. I just think that they could just go a little bit more daring. Not completely way out there like Tacon, but they could just get a few more sort of like different things.
So you want a Bob Semple then?
A Tamiya Bob Semple would be pretty good, I gotta say.
I'd build that in a
That'd be
heartbeat.
awesome.
I would build that so quickly.
I'd buy 2.
Although,
Well-
like, you could actually kit bash a Bob Semple. The only problem bit would be trying to get a 1940s style bulldozer to go underneath it, because they just used anything they had, so you could use anything under there.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's my hill. That I think I'm full of bullet holes right now. So yeah, that was my hill.
You acquitted yourself well, young man. That's well done.
But was it
That
worth
is
all the
inevitable.
viewers we just lost?
No, don't worry. I'll still listen to this again.
Oh.
Not when I'm done editing you.
Yeah, you know what? Edit this episode, then your days are numbered.
I've still got episode 7 to do.
Donut,
today.
what the fuck?
What?
I just saw the. I don't even know. It's in the podcast playing. Is that
Oh!
Wikipedia
the
doesn't
gray-
always have the best scale when it comes to their drawings.
is that like it's a Greyhound with a wannabe like KV2 turret with a 50?
Oh, I have seen this monstrosity before.
What is it?
It is it.
It is. Oh God! It was some South American cobbled together. Crap! I can't remember now. Ezra, where did you find that?
Tank
Tank
Encyclopedia. Tank Encyclopedia.
That is horrible.
Where else am I supposed to find pictures like this? The dark web?
Yes.
Yes.
That's actually
Anywhere.
exactly where you find stuff like that.
Oh.
Well, should we talk about what we've been working on this week?
Yes,
By all
please.
means.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'll go first, I suppose. My Sharpie one has finally been brought back from the shelf of Doom. I got a hot wire foam cutter for doing straight edges, and so I've just been playing around with making a foam base for that. I got some foliage, some spring light green foliage from AK. I got sea foam from Notch, and I've just been sort of working on making my first actual try hard tree. I'm getting a little bit excited about it. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm thinking that the diorama I'm going to make will have quite a few trees, though, so it's going to be like a long work in progress.
How long do you think? How long do you think it'll take you?
It depends. I'm going to be working for a couple weeks on this diorama probably, which is a big change because normally I do the whole thing start to finish in a day.
Jesus.
That's fair. I'm excited to see you work on it, dude. Your first long-winded diorama that obviously you're really taking your time with. I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, it's just the water. I'm not sure how to tackle the creek yet, but we'll figure
Das
it
clay.
out. Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Very nice. All right. So per usual, I have 2 slides because I can. Top left, I got the U.S. artillery crew in the mail. I don't know if I posted that last week or not, but that'll be for the group build, since the gummy bears that Atlantis wants to unfortunately provide just do not fit. Next picture to the right, that is chipboard. I'm going to be making custom side skirts for my T-72 for the Ukraine diorama. To the right is, well, what the diorama looked like. I just sent a photo into our podcast planning on Discord to see what the diorama looks like now. Basically, I just added mud, 2 layers of it with a little bit of grass. And then The bottom row, left and center, is the T72 current. I'll be getting some ERA bricks here soon, and I added some custom smoke grenade launchers that you'll see in the next slide. And then the house on the right looks like absolute ass right now, but that is just basic wood stain on the tiles and the little bit of wood that's stained. All those open spots are where glue seep through. I'm using that resin glue for this, so the wood stain does not seep well with it, which actually works out in my book because it's an old Eastern European house. It has wear and tear, and I mean, once it's done, those glue spots will be the more exposed, damaged wear and tear areas.
Huh.
What did you think of that house, Greg?
I'll be honest with you. Coming from Wish, I was very impressed. It had a couple pieces that I messed up just because I was super excited and I was working on it during the last podcast and I glued half of it backwards. So I had to go through with my X-Acto knife for like 30 minutes and like very gently unfuck myself, and I ended up fucking up some of the inside the house. I'll see you on a picture later. There's like this tiling or roofing, and it's super very fine balsa wood that's very easy to snap. So if it wasn't for that, me messing up, I would give this house like an 8 out of 10. That was great.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it's looking great.
Thank you very much. The next one. So this is focusing mainly on the power lines. So the top left was the other day I used some balsa wood, chipboard, some sprues, and I guess it's technically balsa or some type of cylinder wood. And I'm making Eastern European power lines. And the bottom left is my inspiration. That's actually somewhere in Ukraine. Don't know where. It's some little fuck-off village. So I'm going for that. And the bottom row there is just kind of the progress so far. I haven't actually painted it. It's just primed in black. And then the top is my current used smoke grenade launchers for the T72.
Nice.
Cool.
You know that you're going to have some 11-year-old judge telling you that they're like 0.002 millimeters off.
Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. That's okay. I'm building it for the funds.
I mean,
You did
they
a good
look
job on
great.
those power poles, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, those aren't the easiest to do anyways.
Mm-mm.
No, they are not. I sat here for almost an hour just debating how I would go about making the power lines, or the pole itself, and it's just I wanted to find, because if you look closely, you can kind of see the rivets inside where the wire is ran through. Obviously, sprues don't have that, and I was not going to risk slicing my finger open again trying to make those rivets inside of a sprue. So I went with the little metal wiring you see there on the top left photo. It's super bendable. Bendable, is that a word? You can bend it really easy.
Ductile is the fancy word.
Yes, we'll go with that. Thank you, Don. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually getting that thing put up.
Question: what are you going to use for the lines? The lines itself? Because I need a stud dio.
That wiring right there on the top left.
Okay.
That silver wiring. Let me see if there's an actual name. I got it.
We just had a conversation about this, Ezra.
He was thinking about a stug. It's okay.
No. I mean for the actual wires themselves. I thought he was talking about the connectors.
Oh, no. Now, the wire itself is 26 gauge caliber 2.6.
All right.
45.7 meter long. God damn, it's a lot of wire. Yeah, it's just a little metal wire you can get at your local hobby store. Very thin, easy to bend, all that fun jazz.
Cool. Let's put my hands on some of that.
I basically get my lines out, spray paint them black, and then I'll glue them in.
Cool.
Beauty.
Thank you.
Oh, the lab.
Look at that.
Ooh,
Look
hey.
at that.
So, the lab's actually done. That's no longer a work in progress, but I don't have a lot on the go that's photograph worthy right now. So,
Hot.
yeah, that is Trumpy's Lab 3 that I managed to beat into submission. God, what a dog of a kit that turned out to be. And we're all painted up for a UN mission in Ethiopia and Eritrea circa 2000. So these labs would have still had the new tank smell when they were deployed there. And
So
Definitely
good.
gave it justice.
no, thank you.
Yeah.
Threw some stowage on there from Black Dog, which I highly recommend. And Dennis was kind enough to print me off some flags.
My pleasure, always.
So, well done there. Next door, we have what might be the most ridiculous project I've ever undertaken. It's a trailer. And it's the trailer that comes with the Tamiya M151. I think it's supposed to be an M101 trailer. And I was rifling through my spares bin one day and realized that the box that this was sitting in was taking up more room than if I just built the trailer. So I built it. And then I painted it. And then I filled it with some stuff. And I haven't gotten around to painting the stuff that it's filled with yet.
Nice. What are you using for that tarp there?
It's the gift wrap tissue paper, just soaked in Liquitex, the clear gel medium.
Dude, that is a really good idea. I've been using the toilet paper method. I might try that.
So this stuff doesn't tear quite as easily, but at the same time, it doesn't soak up glue quite as well. So it's harder to mold
Okay.
the surfaces sometimes, and then you'll throw too much glue on it and it ends up dissolving. This is the first time I've used the Liquitex instead of just dilute PVA, and it's much more forgiving to work with. So this might be my go-to from now on, because rather than soaking in and dissolving the tissue, it just kind of coats the top, but you still get the same flexibility and moldability that you would with the dilute PVA.
Very nice.
And the markings and stuff on there aren't based in reality; they're just stuff I had sitting in my scrap bin.
I will say, normally stuff like trailers, they're always an afterthought to a build. But to see someone just, actually build that up as the build itself, that's really nice to see. It's refreshing to see someone take on a subject that's, so ignored.
Yeah, it was completely spur of the moment, but I'm really digging it. I've had more fun. I wish my pictures turned out a little better, but I've had more fun with this than I have with some other builds in a long time.
Yeah. Is that Black Dog stowage you have?
Oh God, probably. I'm trying to think of where half of that stuff came from. Some of it was from the stowage from the lab, and some of it is just stuff that I had sitting in there. I think it is all probably Black Dog, though, yeah.
Okay. Wow, it looks great.
And those jerry cans are from God knows where.
Yeah, it looks amazing, man.
Thank you.
Probably Tamiya.
And then I think there was slide number 2. Oh my God, it's German Armour. But in my defense, this isn't mine, so I actually didn't build this. That's my oldest boy who's been building this.
Officer, it isn't mine.
I swear. Officer, these are not my pants. So this is Boy Senior's first glue together model project. So it's the Tamiya 148 Yag Tiger.
Good for him.
And good God, this is a fantastic kit. I cannot praise these 148 Tamiya kits enough. And bless his heart, he has built this entire thing virtually by himself. And I'm very, very proud. So this is my proud papa moment.
Dude, that is great.
Cool.
Gosh, start him young. Good for you, man.
How old's your boy?
8.
Dude, that is great.
That is
really
really
awesome.
good for an 8-year-old. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And I've taught him well, so the tracks and running gear are all glued up as one separate unit, so we can pull those off when it comes time to paint.
Smart.
Jeez, in 5 months, he's gonna be better than me.
Oh, he's going to be better than me anyway. But we did not delve into steel texture or weld beads on this build. So,
Hey, better to add on as you go, right?
exactly. Right? Baby steps.
Future
Absolutely.
member of the micro.
And then last but not least is the one thing that's actually on the go on my bench right now that's kind of photograph worthy. And it's Tamiya's new mold M8 Greyhound, which is a fantastic kit, but that I am massacring and turning it into a hopefully reasonably accurate representation of General Rockingham's M8 command car that he used during the Korean War. So as you can see, there's a key portion of the Greyhound that's missing. It has no gun. So I had to fart around blanking off the turret, and I'm currently struggling with weld beads where the openings for the guns should have been.
Nice.
Dude, I'm looking forward to seeing this finished.
Me too.
No. I color schemes again.
Don, that's what I was making you those Commonwealth decals for, right?
Yes.
Ah, there you go.
Yes, this is what you made the first batch up for. And that's
kind
it.
of
That's all I got.
color schemes again.
Color schemes?
Yeah, color scheme.
For the Greyhound?
Yes.
It's USOD.
Okay.
Because all the vehicles that we used in Korea were sourced from American stocks.
Sure.
So they're just standard US olive drab.
Huh.
Ooh,
Yes.
look at that.
Ooh.
My
Tingly.
club shot Caldelet is starting to get a base. Just
I
a
love
really
it.
simple piece of wood with some DAS put over it, with then track mark stamped in, dirt from the desert outside, and just shot with a heavy coat of primer.
Dude, I love those antennas, dude. You did a phenomenal job.
This
Thank
whole thing
you.
has so much going on. It's great.
Yeah, it's going to have even more going on, because there's going to be unit markings on the back of the turret bustle, empty shell casings everywhere.
I see one of them there, yeah, on the left picture in the right bottom.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
but there's even going to be ones from like the 50 cal and the
Oh, beautiful.
7.62.
That's going to be nice. Are you
Yeah.
3D printing those?
No, I'm getting them from Master Club or whatever.
Nice.
They're actual brass.
Ooh.
Yeah. And looking back, I realized that the shells, the spent shells, are actually the wrong color. So I'm going to need to take them off, repaint them, and then try to weather them as nicely as they
They're
were.
like a grayish white, right?
Yep.
I was going to say they're very shiny looking.
I forgot that L7 rounds from 105 are not copper. They're gray.
That's okay. You can fix it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure, but I was so happy with how they looked.
They do look very nice.
I even drilled a little hole in the back, though I don't think that's accurate. You know how like a bullet casing?
Oh god, for primer you mean?
Yeah.
Mm,
That's not accurate, is it?
I don't know actually.
Ugh.
If anything, dude, like just
Again, you
Some
can have
light
some
metal, but-
11-year-old tell you that you're wrong.
oh yeah.
True. But yeah, I can't wait to have this thing done and off the bench.
That will be nice to see when it's fully done.
Yeah. It's coming with me to ArmourCon this year, and I'm hoping to get best IDF.
Yeah, I see that being a contest killer.
Yeah. Big goals.
So you're gonna win that, and then just send another email to Ammo. Just go, see.
I told you I could do it.
Are you gonna throw it in the youth, or are you gonna try and do the adult?
Oh, I'm doing adult again.
Hell yeah, dude! Awesome. I'm glad to see it.
No, they gave the juniors automatic golds and a big plaque, a big gold plaque.
Oh, so just participation trophies.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck that.
I'd rather earn it.
Attaboy.
And I'm actually gonna have to.
Enter in both categories.
Yeah. See, if I want to enter it, if I want a shot at getting best IDF, I can't actually enter into adult intermediate. I have to enter into adult advanced.
Ooh,
Do it.
You definitely rate that that category.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some nice stuff in there, but I know there's almost no basic construction flaws with this. So I'm going to get almost full points for construction.
Good.
Well, now we got to clean up the details for you then.
Yeah. Yeah, they know. Oh,
Yes.
So,
that's so cool.
this is something that 2023 kit released by Tamiya. Callum, you said you want stuff that's unique. Well, you're getting this stuff that's unique. It's silent. It has
I would buy
1,000
that in a
kilometer
heartbeat.
range. It's fast. It's lightly armored. In fact, it has no armor. It's got a tow missile. It's the Toyota Prius.
That thing would be silent as well. It's a stealth tank. It's a
It would have a
stealth
very
tank
low
destroyer.
infrared signature. Like, it is quite literally the ideal tank destroyer.
Dennis and I spent like 30 minutes discussing why this would be like the top best like armored, or not armored, but the top test tank destroyer in Ukraine.
I have unironically considered sending a letter to the DoD and saying, "Hey, this is a good idea. Do it."
Well, just think about it. If the Russians did capture those, they wouldn't be able to sell the fuel as well.
Exactly.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, but what's the
Still
price of
catalytic
lithium right
converters
now?
off, you know.
Actually, yeah, they'll just sell the batteries.
But yeah, who would want to see me make a 3D printed model kit of this?
I will buy like 5 of them. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I'll pay whatever you want for it.
Yeah.
I'll chuckle at it.
There you go. Well, stay tuned, because it might happen.
Good.
Yeah. Word.
Yes. Okay. You cannot look at a model and say it is covered in too much mud. Because look at this Challenger 2. It's probably been riding around in the field for like 5 or 6 hours, and it's covered in mud.
Yeah, it's gone right up to the top of the turret.
It sure has. That thing's been fucking zooming.
Just get your airbrush, fill it up with some buff, and just spray it all over, and boom.
As we see
I love-
here, this is a Challenger that's enjoying a nice summer day in England.
I mean, look at how there's almost no variation in the colors of the mud. There's only
Dude,
just
yeah,
wet
literally
and
do.
dry.
Yeah, that's the only variations, wet and dry. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
See, I just feel sorry for the poor bloody crew, because you guarantee they'll bring that all the way back to the depot and the commander will just be like, right, start cleaning.
Yeah, yeah. Just like the I had to get out that hose, like the AAV dio I did, just start hosing her down.
A cool thing to note is on that rear pick, one of the sides of the fuel, that's a fuel drum, right? It's been cut off so you can stuff a camo net in there.
Huh.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, clearly you can get modern tanks as muddy as you want.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Greg, next time an 11-year-old tries to tell you otherwise.
I'm gonna drop kick him. That's a yellow paint splotch. It's a leaf. Fucking idiot.
Just a FYI, the Model Machines podcast does not condone any acts of violence against shitty little young judges in any competitions. Just thought you'd like to know.
Yes.
Oh, if you're
Yes.
under like 12, you should not be. You should not judge.
No. Especially
You
when
should be
keep
judged.
getting corrected.
And if you are within kicking range, you should not be judged.
Yeah. Just don't. You can observe judges to one day be a judge. That's just fine and dandy, but don't go to people's models and start trashing and then get trashed by your older model or older judges because you don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Oh. Kids these days.
Literally.
Don't group me in with them. I'm special.
You damn right you are.
Oh, maybe I didn't want to be that special. Well, did we do a podcast?
We did, in fact, do a podcast.
Is that
Hell
what we
yeah.
call this?
I think so.
Apparently, yeah.
And
right
we-
at the 2-hour mark.
And we managed the impossible. We got
We
Canmedic on.
We got
Yeah,
Dawn.
can somebody take these
Yes.
ropes off now? They're starting to chafe.
No. I kind of like this situation.
I think you need to make another appearance.
I
Yeah.
think he might.
You've got a lot of knowledge that you could bring to us and the viewers, and you're quite witty.
You also- yeah,
Absolutely
I was
none
gonna
of
say
which
you're
was
also funny as
contributed
hell.
tonight.
Yeah.
It sure was. We're going
Alright.
to do a whole new popularity contest just from this one episode, and none of
Yeah.
us are going to get votes. It's all going to be Canmedic.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
You should meet after the Hill to Die on. I'm going to have negative votes.
That is true. That is
Listen,
true.
I have a face for radio and a voice for print. All right, this is not a sustainable career move.
Not with that
Well,
attitude, it's
I'm
not.
about to say, yeah.
He's going to be the one who kickstarts our Patreon. Everyone's going to hear that lovely voice and it's just going to be like, I want to give these people money now.
They're going to start just throwing money.
Throwing dollar bills.
Damn straight.
No, he's Canadian. They're going to start throwing loonies and toonies.
Damn, Skippy.
Man, those are going to hurt when I get hit with those. Well,
So you're pretty much saying we're all strippers because we're gonna get money thrown at us.
tank strippers.
Oh,
I
think I
make
found my new. I found.
Ezra, do
I
not
made
start Google searching that.
Oh, God, yeah, please don't.
I found my new Discord.
Oh God.
No,
Fucking,
no.
What have we
no,
done?
Notification
What have we done?
status.
No, man.
And on that note,
Well, if
Yeah.
you've listened up to this point, I'd like to personally thank all of you, all of our listeners out there. It's people like you who make us want to keep doing this. Just kidding, it's not we like talking about tanks, but yeah,
It's our excuse. It's
Yeah.
our
I
validation.
don't want to keep doing this. We've
Oh,
had this
you don't have a
discussion.
choice. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Don so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Funny guy,
For sure.
smart guy, talented beyond all belief. Yeah,
So until next time.
yeah.
Toodles.
See you next week.
See
Bye,
ya.
everyone.
Adios, fellas.